If your radio head unit display is faulty or looking faded, particularly when it gets hot, and you want to replace it yourself, then this video is for you. I'm replacing the screen on my Nissan NV200 van, but the screen is used in lots of other Nissans such as the Micra, Duke, Navara, Qashqai, Pathfinder and more, plus other makes including Dacias, Suzukis and Renaults. Be sure to always check compatibility before purchasing. The tools you'll need for the project are as follows: a large and small crosshead screwdriver, a Torx T20 screwdriver, trim removal tools, a spudger which you don't mind damaging, a pair of pliers, a soldering iron and a solder removal tool. The screen replacement really wasn't too bad and could easily be done in a couple of hours, maybe quicker, especially if you're not filming it for YouTube. I've got affiliate links to the screen you need and all the tools in the description below, and these help support this channel and make these videos possible. As you can see, the screen has really deteriorated to the point that I could barely read it, so changing it out was long overdue. If you're here just for the screen change and not how to remove the head unit, then I've added chapters to the video so you can skip to the part you want. The first step is to remove the radio head unit from the van. Begin by taking off the vent slider knob in the middle of the dashboard. To do this, push it up and it will pop right off. Then using the plastic trim removal tools, go around the bottom section of trim. This won't damage the trim as it's held on by clips. This piece of trim is connected to the van via wires and fed through the gear stick, so it can be left lying where it is. There are two screws behind this piece of trim which secure the trim above to the van and need to be taken out using a crosshead screwdriver. These weren't too difficult to remove by hand, but take extra care as if you drop them they could fall into the van. With the screws out, take the trim removal tools and work your way around the edge of the upper trim. Again, this will loosen the clips and with a little persuasion will pop off completely without any damage. This piece can be put to one side for now. With the head unit exposed, there are 4 screws, 2 on each side, securing it in place, and these need to be removed too. Take care again as there's another bunch of gaps that screws could fall down into. It's worth noting here that most vehicles will require a radio code to be inputted if you unplug the radio from the battery, so make sure you have this before disconnecting. Once the screws are removed, the head unit is free and we'll pull out a little to expose the 4 harnesses of cables that connect to it. These can all be unplugged, and if you're worried about scratching the dashboard plastic with the metal of the head unit, you can always put a cloth down to protect it. Each of the wiring harnesses has a push clip, so are fairly easy to remove by hand. Once removed, the head unit is completely free and ready to take inside to change the screen. With your tools and replacement screen to hand, get the head unit and remove the 2 screws on each side to remove the brackets. And these will need the Torx T20 screwdriver. I've found them to be on very tightly, so take care when unscrewing. Once the brackets are off, take a trim removal tool or spudger and pry up the 8 clips holding the front of the head unit to the metal housing. I've found these to be the most difficult part of the whole project, but with a bit of patience they do come up. Put the metal head unit to one side and locate the 6 screws holding the circuit board to the front of the head unit. Remove these to free the circuit board and the screen replacement can begin. Remove the black tape holding down the ribbon cable, which I found to be a little fiddly. As the tape was so sticky, I lifted it enough to free it from the circuit board, but left it attached to the ribbon cable for now. With the spudger, carefully pop out the pins holding the ribbon cable in its connector and then slide the ribbon cable out. As this cable will be replaced, I felt it safe to remove the tape at this point. There is a metal casing holding the screen in place, and this is soldered to the circuit board. You could potentially get away without using a soldering iron and just break the solder away with some pliers, but I don't think it would be worth the risk for a few extra minutes of work. The solder isn't connected to any electrical components and just secures the metal case to the circuit board, so simply heat up the solder around each of the clips, remove it, and bend the pins of the metal case straight. They will then be able to fit through the slots in the circuit board, the metal case can be removed, and the screen will fall out. The old screen can be put to one side now, and I found it to be a good opportunity to blow some air around the screen holder to clean it out while it's open. Next, get your new screen. Mine didn't say which side was the front and which the back, but I noticed that the old and new had a slight notch on the right hand side, which I took to be an indicator of which side faced inwards and out. Peel the inward film off, feed the cable through the slit in the circuit board, place the new screen in the opening, and then peel the outward film off too. Next, insert the ribbon cable into the connector. I found it went in about 5 or 6 millimeters and left a little of the metal exposed. Once seated, push both pins back in to lock the cable in place. Make sure that the ribbon cable is pulled fully through the slit in the circuit board and replace the black tape to secure it down. Then the metal case can be secured to the circuit board again by twisting the pins and adding a little solder. I haven't soldered for years, so it was a little bit messy, but luckily will never be seen. Pop the circuit board back into the black front piece and add the 6 screws back. Push the front piece back onto the metal head unit, making sure all the clips are well seated. Finally, add the left and right brackets back to the side, tightening firmly, and you're ready to add the head unit back to the vehicle. All you have to do here is to work in the reverse of taking the head unit out. But first, plug the cables back into the head unit, and they're all unique shapes so you can't get them mixed up. And then hold your breath, turn on the ignition, check that the screen works, and then hopefully breathe a sigh of relief. After inputting the radio code, which on mine required pushing 1 5 times to get the number 5 and so on, the screen should work as normal and looked much better than before. To finish up, turn the ignition off, fix the head unit in place with the 4 screws, reattach the top trim piece with the 2 screws at the bottom, reattach the bottom trim piece, and finally push the vent slider knob back on. You're finished. If you're wondering what the screen above my radio is, it's the Carpuride W901 Plus, which I've just made a video on, and it's one of a range of screens which easily puts CarPlay or Android Auto, plus apps such as Netflix and YouTube, in any vehicle without dealing with any wiring. I've got an affiliate link to it below, as well as links for the replacement screen and tools you need for this project, and whilst you're there, if you think I've earned it, please subscribe to my channel. Lastly, if you have any questions, please drop them below and I'll do my very best to answer them. Thanks for watching.